Welcome back to another, well, not so exciting news video. Today we're going to be talking about the news that just broke out earlier this morning. In this video, of course, it's not just myself who's affected, but of course a good friend of ours, Liam, and of course, get ready for this guys, Liam with a new mic setup.
How's it going, guys? Some sad news, but in more heard clarity.
Yes, at least we can now hear Liam. But of course, you can now hear the sadness and emotion of Liam now that he has a much better mic. But regardless, we still have a few videos that I haven't edited yet with his old mic. So future videos after this might still have his old mic. Bear with us as we move into that transitional phase. Speaking of transitional phase, a transitional phase that we never wanted, and of course that being, of course, Target moving to a realm, I guess you can say, of not selling Pokemon cards. That of course extends out to Walmart, which I believe prior to that, maybe like 2-3 weeks ago, also stopped selling Pokemon cards, and even Yu-Gi-Oh and sports cards. Maybe not every single location around the world, but definitely quite a lot of locations. And of course, starting today, the video this video is uploaded on today, Friday the 14th, Target is now following that realm of not selling Pokemon cards. Now, they didn't specify Yu-Gi-Oh cards or Magic cards or sports cards or anything like that, any collectible cards, but I think it's just a matter of time before it does extend out to those TCGs. Before we look into the article, real quick, I'm not sure how this is going to affect the UK at all. Like, was there anything like this happening in the UK at all?
There have been really no announcements of cutting the sales of anything. To be honest, I'm almost seeing a bit of a reverse in such cases. A few people managed to go around buying excessive quantities of everything on their own, and then turning them for a profit online.
Basically scalpers, right?
Been a scenario since the lockdown scenarios with supply and demand and things. When it comes to big companies like Target, they can afford to pick and choose whether they will or whether they won't.
In terms of the UK, it's cheaper to buy stuff on the store, which we know is true, and that's why people go to the store. As far as you know, there hasn't been any shortage around your locations, right?
To be honest with you, since people were clocking on to the consumers trying to do this bulk buying thing, there has been a bit of a shortage. Even over this part of the waters, it's still hyped as anything. Some people only get like half of what they've placed an order for, and their proper like established franchise chains does come down to supply and demand.
I think that's all fair. I think well, maybe not to the point where you're only getting half of your stuff, but to a point where at least you can still buy stuff. Like, obviously you don't have Target, you don't have Walmart, but you have stores similar to that, I would imagine, over there, whereas like a big massive chain. And typically the reason why we like those kind of stores, because like, let's say you're just now hearing about Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and oh, you feel nostalgic and you want to go back and see if you can buy some packs, or vice versa. You go to the Target or Walmart, but oh, I see Pokemon cards there, let me just grab some, see what's new about it, what's changed, and you get back to that old habit because now you have, you know, disposable income. That's kind of like how I started. Like, ooh, I saw this video online, and like, I want to get back into collecting again, and like now, obviously, we started this whole channel. In a way, we might be the reasons why people are like scalping and buying stuff, because we are talking about how much money you could potentially get from it. So I guess you can say we're partly the blame for it. You know, there's other YouTubers that talk about how much money a card is, especially a chase card like a Dark Magician Ghost Rare, for example. Like, people want it, so people are buying a buttload of these ghosts from the past. In a way, that's just how supply and demand works. But at the same time, I think the main reason, the big reason, I believe, why stores like Walmart or Target aren't selling them anymore is because of people stealing stuff, not actually buying stuff, and then selling that stuff that's stolen out in the market. I believe that's what's causing more of the craziness. And of course, violence, of course, can happen as well. Like, for example, people are waiting 2 hours before that vendor starts putting stuff into the store, into the shelves, and then people are fighting each other for those packs, causing unnecessary violence. I think that's more why that's happening, not necessarily more of the scalper issues or the investment aspect of it. There's always been investment opportunities with these cards, even before the pandemic. Because of the pandemic and how certain supply chains are now not able to supply at a much quicker rate, those supplies are low, but demand is still at where it was or even higher than where it was. I don't know, I think UK is probably more civilized than the Americans.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to have an argument, please.
Do you want to have the full argument, or were you thinking of taking a course? £1 for a 5-minute argument, but only £8 for a course of 10.
Well, I think it's probably best if I start with the one and see how it goes from there, okay?
Fine. I'll see who's free at the moment.
That's probably why they're not getting as much of this attention, in the negative attention, in terms of the collectible community. Obviously, we'll go into some more articles later in this video, but what do you think, Leo?
You make a very honest point where there is a bit of a devil's advocate to the fact that yes, we do videos on we've done videos and content on getting from cards being graded.
It's kind of a controversial topic because obviously we do collecting ourselves, we do investing ourselves, but it almost feels like we're fueling that fire ourselves, but at the same time, I don't know, like, you know what I mean?
The thing is, you know, although we are part collectors in the card collecting industry, there are still much more worse out there, to be honest with you. In front of me, I still have two unopened single and rapid strike Shining Fates tins, you know what I mean? We're not the kind of people that buy 8 to 12 from one place. Like, even you yourself sourced some of those goes from the past from different places, because, you know, we're trying to be considerate about it.
We definitely try to support the local community as well. Like there's multiple card shops here in the Las Vegas area, and so instead of buying out everything from every single store, you know, we buy a bit here, a bit there, and then collectively is going to be a massive opening. But we always try to think about other people after us to make sure that there's enough for them. I guess that's all we can really ask for.
Penguinzo and Logan Paul, with their wealth of being popularity and them being able to turn these big profits to the point where Logan Paul has managed to get himself a card from the legendary Charizard Gary, hyping all this stuff up, but also increasing the price of everything about that tenfold, 20-fold beyond Bitcoin level.
And to be honest, they don't really give Logan Paul a lot of credit as well. When he did go and get that card from Gary, like, he was very respectable about it. He was like, he even talked to, I believe, the grandson, like, is this rude for me to even offer this? Like, is he even going to accept it? Like,
bro, first off, I love your family, which is actually why I got into this, which is why I wanted to ask you candidly, bro. I had a whole plan. I was gonna give your dad an offer, but I don't want to be disrespectful because he's obviously so glued to his collection.
Like, he has that considerate outlook that people don't even consider. Like, but yeah, I mean, that's the kind of where we stand. Just be humble, be respectful, and it's great to be a collector. It's great to be an investor, but just be respectable about it.
A couple of weeks ago, we followed Logan Paul's live stream where he did a big original boxing, and when it came down to it,
that was huge. That was huge. Obviously, that was a second live stream. So his original live stream back last year, I think that's what fueled a lot of that hype in Pokemon. And then, of course, he did a second one that drove even more, I guess, fuel in that fire.
Yeah, but although what they wouldn't tell you straight out the bat was during that auction phase, certain people can hype certain things up. You know, a Charizard can now be a first edition of the highest of quality, can be considered trading for a house. It's gonna have
a very nice house.
A very nice house, you know, and it comes to a point where that ripple effect is going to go further down the line. Just alone, the proof that the McDonald's promotion was getting absolutely ruthlessly pressured and picked by scalpers before most people even knew what was going on public-wise.
Yeah, very true.
These are just small stepping stones into a more uptight scenario where other companies are going to see this, and like I say, if there's going to be a hassle over something that's hyped at the moment, It's just easier for companies to just clean their hands of it, you know, be it good, bad, or ugly in between. You know, other companies will come out and start picking up where they leave off. You know, I just hope that things calm down a bit more. I mean,
It's definitely gonna be tough. Like obviously this doesn't like just extend to the TCG community. It also extends to like obviously the big one of course is the PS5. I read an article that we probably will talk about later in our Stilly Boys community channel, which we'll have linked down below. But basically there's an article that read that there's one website, the StockX website, 100,000 units, 100,000 units have been sold in that one website above market price value. Obviously, market price value is about 400, I think. Like, was it 399 plus tax, I believe, for the PS5? 100,000 units have been sold well above that market price. Same will apply, of course. I even read like different Reddit posts where people are using bots right now to buy Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon cards.
it's a script that can be copied and transferred over onto so many different platforms, my friend. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and that's kind of like what drove the price up for Ghost of the Past, because I think retail was supposed to be $14.99 for a mini box like this. I'm not sure if you see the background, but a mini box should be $14.99. But instead, a mini box is now going for $30, $35, sometimes even $40 for that one box. And that one box, of course, has 3 packs of 5 cards each. That's crazy. It's insane.
It is. That's almost magic level crazy insane.
Pokemon has definitely took the brunt of that blow. Every single set, especially since Shining Faith came out, there's been shortages of those packs. There've been shortages of the McDonald's packs. There've been shortages, even the cereal. Like we haven't talked about this before, but we have another article potentially later in this video, maybe, of cereals now. They have collectible cards in there that people have been buying out like in masses, like bunches of like cereals and masses selling those out.
It's unsettling, especially as, again, that's just in a way that's more food being thrown away.
Yes,
It's
big
a
time, big time.
second wave of it, you know what
Big
I mean?
time.
And nowadays, you know, with everything going on, that's just really irresponsible considering the hard times that a lot of people will be coming through the end of the, you know.
There's been some people that I know that been buying like, you know, Happy Meals to get the McDonald's packs or the cereals, but they will at least donate some of that excess food out to those who need it. And of course, that's of course appreciated, but at the same time, there's others that, like Liam said, are being wasteful, like not eating it, throwing away just to get these cards. And that, of course, is not acceptable.
It just makes you think there's going to be more companies out there that are going to start doing what Target do if they start seeing masses of just cereal boxes being dumped and thrown on the side, because the wastage looks bad on the company, because you know how it kind of looked when McDonald's kind of saw people throwing whole Happy Meals away, boxes included, just for the cards. You know, it's a lose-lose scenario publicly wise.
Obviously, this wasn't a instant like approach that Target went through, and I believe Walmart also had this approach as well, where they would limit how much you buy, like either 3 packs or even like card shops will like, you can only buy 1 of this, just so we have other people that. And of course I respect that decision. At the same time, like, there's people that still find a way to take advantage of it somehow, some way. You know, after a busy day from work, they just want to go to a card shop or, you know, buy cereal for their kids, and, you know, like, or make Happy Meals for their kids, and just so they can get like something cool for their kids, and it's not there. And to me, that saddens me a lot. Even as a collector, like, obviously the reason why we're collectors is because we started out as either a collector as a kid, because that's how I grew up. Like, if I was to experience the same thing as a kid, oh, I'll be heartbroken. I'll be devastated. Like obviously as a kid, you don't have the money, you don't have the means, you don't have transportation, you don't have any way to get these cards except by either the local store like Walmart or Target with their parents, or going to McDonald's just for a Happy Meal.
It's a disheartening scenario for those that are trying to, for example, share in a nostalgia of what we experienced when we were younger, seeing a trading card game that we can remember fondly.
Now we're gonna go to just a quick article here. Let's just flip over. Yeah, so basically this article right here, this is the one that kind of drove this conversation. This was released earlier yesterday, actually late night yesterday, around 8 p.m. Eastern yesterday. Target will now stop selling Pokemon cards in stores. Now, it doesn't say anything about Yu-Gi-Oh cards. It doesn't say anything about Magic at all, but like we mentioned before, it could extend to those things very, very easily. Especially like Pokemon being a driving factor in this, but it can always trickle out to other collectibles. Target decided that it had enough. The company has officially confirmed to Bleeding Cool that it will halt the sales of Pokemon cards throughout the US, starting Friday, the 14th.
They ain't playing games.
Yeah. People have reportedly been opening cereal boxes in the store to steal the included Pokemon cards out of them. And someone in Japan even climbed down a rope to steal almost $9,000 worth of cardboard cards. Now, like that's factor of design for kids. Yes, it is targeted for kids, but at the same time, I believe that's kind of a nomenclature, because technically it's designed for anybody who's want to be a collectible, to be a collectible. So, like, I can understand being excited, being hyped for your Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh at all ages. It's not just kids, but going to the point of opening cereal boxes to steal cards inside and climbing down a rope. What? To steal cards? What does it even mean?
I kind of picture Mission Impossible, with Tom Cruise just slowly coming down the zip wire, like 2 inches from the floor, just boom, getting caught by CCTV cameras, because
it's like,
this isn't Mission Impossible.
There's also incidents of one of the stores where someone pulled a gun during a fight about sports cards, which will explain why the hold also applies to MLB, NFL, and NBA cards as well. Wow.
Dude, card collectors are hardcore. Dang. Soon enough we're gonna have like the Philadelphia card collectors versus the Chicago shadow collectors. Come on, it's cardboard. It's not narcotics.
Yeah, it's being treated like one as such. Now this is the tweet made by Alan Johnson. So I guess Pokemon, MLB, NFL, and NBA trade cards are no longer going to be sold at Target stores starting this Friday, according to this note right here. Like I said, it doesn't say anything about Magic. It doesn't say anything about Yu-Gi-Oh. You can even see Magic cards in the background here, but it doesn't mean that it will eventually extend to those. But right now, the way things are going in Pokemon and of course sports in general, it just gets too violent. And of course, understandably so, they shut down that. All right, the other article I want to show real quick. Basically, kind of the same little gist that we saw, but I kind of want to go a little bit below here to the Walmart post here. But yeah, this is the post. This is about a day ago that this was released. But the trading cards category has been removed from the sales floor, and sales of these items have been suspended due to inappropriate customer behavior and increased demand. Please do not stock these items until further direction from management has been given. So yeah, and that's from store management of Walmart. I don't believe every single Walmart is affected, but I think a good chunk of it has been affected. And the same, of course, will apply now to Target. Okay, this is crazy. Okay, look at this headline, guys. Even cereals isn't safe from the Pokemon card frenzy. In March, the Pokemon Company announced a partnership with General Mills that will pack in a set of 3 cards into cereals such as Golden Grams, Trix, Cocoa Puffs, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and Lucky Charms. With 14 cards in total, each pack contains one holographic Pikachu collectible, and certain stores like Walmart got special distribution for monster cards like the Galarian Ponyta. People camping out, and of course some even opening cereal boxes, of course, as you mentioned, stealing the cards and just being wasteful, of course. with those cereals kind of lingering around. What's crazy is too, we did actually get some of these General Mills packs, which we will be unboxing in the future, but we didn't have to go to this length, guys. Obviously we went to a third party and just bought the packs themselves. You don't have to buy the cereals if you don't plan on eating the cereal. If you just want the packs, just go to a third party. I understand that some third parties will be gouging prices, but there's some reputable companies out there that will sell it at market value. But the big thing that concerns me is not just for the scalping aspect of it, but just the mere wastefulness of it all. Plenty of TikTok videos, by just scrolling here, of people opening up these cereal boxes. And look at this one.
Okay, so these boxes have Pokemon cards. Look what they did. Ghetto ass people.
So yeah, look at this. They actually put like these like detectors or whatever in each of these boxes. Wow. Wow.
Come on, that's electrical goods. Come on, security tags.
Wow, that is insane, guys. All right, guys. Obviously, we don't want to keep this video too depressing. Obviously, like this is still the 20th anniversary of Pokemon, so there's still gonna be a lot of good collectible items coming out from Pokemon, and they're definitely pushing out as much as they can. All their new content, the new Pokemon Snap, for example. There's a lot of good stuff coming out, and of course, I think next year is Yu-Gi-Oh's 20th anniversary, I believe, if I recall. So there's gonna be a lot of big things happening for Yu-Gi-Oh side of the house as well, I would imagine, for the 20th anniversary. Keep collecting, keep investing, but just think about your neighbors, and of course, kids that are, like I said, up-and-coming collectors themselves. Think about how, if you were their age, how would that affect you? And that's kind of like how I perceive as well. But of course, in the comments down below, let us know what you guys think. This will be a lot more developing story as the years go on, so we'll definitely keep you posted on that. Obviously, we appreciate you guys tuning in, being a collective in this community. If you guys want to help support this show, obviously, you can always click on the join button here, and of course, just being here, liking the video, and of course, subscribing. If there's any recommendations for videos that you guys want us to talk about, whether it be news related or collectible related, let us know as well. We could talk about it, have a future discussion, and of course more videos, of course more to come, and hopefully some happier news versus what we have here. As we mentioned before, we do have the General Mills, some of the packs available for that unboxing. We will be doing that in a future video, so definitely stick around for that. And of course, that's all we got. So until next time, this is Talos and Liam signing out.
Peace.